Well, let's take a look at what these stencils look like.
Let's do.
Now, these come from us through Canada, interestingly enough. They are made in Holland, I believe, and they are metal, but these particular ones happen to be white. Sometimes
and they have kind of a smooth white coating that makes it really easy to wipe off, I've discovered.
Oh, you have discovered. And it's got some information in multiple languages inside.
Yes, so international.
Yes.
We also have these metal stencils from Heritage Handcrafts.
Right, and they're in the U.S.
In the U.S.
And then these smaller ones come to us from Holland. So this is an international demonstration. Okay, but let's get to the cards. So our first one was a wonderful discovery that Anne made.
Yes, I actually used the Angels metal stencil, and this is done on the plain white cardstock.
Right, looks like this. These are our 5 by 6.5 cards. What we found is the cardstock was
embossable.
Wow, good words.
Right. So I'm going to show you how I did this.
Okay. So here is a light box. I'll turn this on, and John's going to turn the lights off. So get this prepared for you.
Thanks. So I'm going to open up my card because we want to emboss on the inside. Now it helps to maybe tack it down with some stencil tape.
Okay. And you want to press from the inside so that what you push out is on the outside, so you can feel it.
Right, so you're kind of puffing out outside.
Now, if you had words, you would want to pay attention. We don't have words in this particular one,
right.
But sometimes they do.
Okay, let's see if we can just do a little
Just
angel
a
or something.
Okay, a little.
And what I used was these McGill embossing tools because they have such a wide variety of sizes.
Okay, and those are used for the paper flowers with with McGill's punches, but not this time.
Not this time. So I'm going to go on this little angel and just emboss her arm.
So you're just pressing.
Just pressing, and I don't really need a foam pad underneath because the metal stencil is thick enough that I can get an impression just by going on this little light table.
Okay. Now, if you didn't have a light table, would you hold it up to a window on a sunny day?
I could do a window, or you could like hold it up just for a second to see where you're gonna emboss next, and then you could place it down too.
Okay. This just makes it faster and smoother.
Yeah, and you would tape the stencil to your paper too.
Okay. So now you're wet.
Now I'm taking the smaller one and going in on the...
So that's why having multiple of these shapes is helpful.
The smallest one is especially handy for these tiny stars and like the curves around the hair.
Okay.
To get in those tiny little spots that the larger ones can't reach.
And what was a surprise to us is that this would work on cardstock. Now you do need a smooth cardstock, so nothing with texture, and you need a nice medium weight, nothing terribly heavy.
Right, because if it's too heavy, you probably won't even be able to punch it through.
Okay, so unveiling. I'll get this out of your way.
Okay, thank you. And turn the lights. And there's that little shadow.
How sweet.
You can feel it, and and what I did on this card was I actually colored my angels with some smooch.
And so that is, you want to bring some in?
Sure.
And we were kind of thinking of chalking, but what Anne discovered is that the smooch was quite perfect.
Yes, and I love that they have these tiny, tiny tips so you can go in the smallest detail and be very precise.
Right, and stay right on top. And then you added a border of dazzles, which can never be wrong.
Right, that's from the Vintage Christmas Scrapbooking Dazzles. This is from, I think, the Repeated Greetings. And then on the inside, I just did a single angel.
Shoot, I didn't even look at the inside.
With a single border and Season's Greetings on the inside.
Okay, sweet. And this, having this embossed is just such an elegant, elegant look.
I think so too, especially not only in the colors, but also just in the white.
Yes.
Because it's just a really delicate, elegant look.
Now, what we're familiar with is doing the dry embossing with the Pergamano paper.
Right.
And we recommend the Pergamano because it is heavier than vellum. Certainly vellum works. It's just a little more
You just have to be a little Okay, more careful with
Do
the
you,
bells.
Anne?
Right, yes. It's very fragile.
And so this is the bells template or stencil, and a little bit of stamping right there. But again, same process, turning it over, except you would use a mouse pad.
Right, or a foam pad.
Okay, so to do that. Now, here is this same template, stencil. I'm going to keep doing that, so just ignore me. And here it is with another technique, and this is glitter.
Glitter.
And
of course we have to have glitter, Paulette.
now this is done, so we've done the embossing. Okay, if you want to keep track of the 8, we're counting the embossing as 2.
It's 2.
One on cardstock, one on pergamano or vellum.
Parchment.
Okay, and this is number 3, so this is glitter.
Glitter on glitter.
And so, Anne, we're going to bring in a craft sheet.
Yes.
Right? Now there
we
is
might want to have some scrap paper too.
Now there is a trick to this, and the trick is the adhesive.
Yes. And this is the adhesive we're using.
It's called a stencil adhesive, and it comes in large sheets like this. There are 4 of them in the package, and they actually come from the company that makes the smaller stencils.
So what I've done is cut out a piece of the adhesive big enough for my stencil. Now I'm peeling off one side and setting it down carefully. So I'm going to place my stencil
perfectly
on
it. Anne always holds her breath at a moment like this. It's great. We got white on white. That really works well, doesn't it? Another thing about this adhesive is that we have done a webisode using this before, and I commented that I kind of felt like Goldilocks because we used the Humongo adhesive and it was too tacky.
Way too sticky.
You almost couldn't get the stencil off. And then we used another adhesive and it was too wimpy. And then this one was just right.
Just like Goldilocks. All right, so I'm going to sprinkle.
Okay.
I probably will sparkle by the end of this webisode.
So you're just carefully dumping that artistically on the...
all over the exposed parts of the adhesive.
And this is the glitter from
Clear Snap.
Clear Snap, and we're using the silver and the white, right?
Silver Lining and Winter Frost.
Very good, thank you.
They have fun names.
And you've got a nice mound there.
And then I'm going to shake it off. Do you happen to have a dry brush? I could help.
Do I have a dry brush? I do.
Oh, perfect.
I have a stencil brush.
So that helps kind of...
yeah, I can see why it would.
Get it off.
What is so interesting about this technique is that none of us thought it would work because we thought that the glitters would merge.
Right.
So, and well, you'll see.
You'll have to see the magic. So carefully peel off the adhesive from the stencil.
And it's a good idea to do exactly the way Anne's doing it, where you keep your stencil straight and you're pulling back the adhesive.
Right.
Now this is quite a large stencil, so it's going to be, it's going to take a couple of tugs. In which case you can beautifully wear the glitter.
Yes.
Anne spends her life wearing glitter.
I go home with glitter, yes.
I think it seeps from your pores.
I sweat glitter.
Okay, we'll get this out of the way and we'll put that back in the bottle.
Now this will go straight once you glue it down on something. But we're just gonna set that there.
Okay.
And come in with our sapphire glitter. And I bet you can guess what this is going to do.
But what is important to note is that you don't have to do anything special to make this work. It works because of the way the stencils are designed. It also works because this is a great technique. Now, do you need that brush again? No?
Okay. Here we
get
go.
all this stuff out of your way?
Sure.
Okay. And
there is the bells.
Perfect. Perfectly done.
So glitzy and shiny.
Even with all the detail, so let me bring the card in because that's nice and flat, but all that detail just amazingly works. Now, this card Anne did, and she stamped, or first covered her card with the silver, and she stamped it with the Christmas Stampin' Punch, and then has some jewel dazzles. And on the inside, same thing. And so you've done a strip of the adhesive.
Right, yeah. That's handy just to match the glitters.
So you can do some borders too. So I'm going to bring back that card.
This one.
So we've got the pergamano embossing. We've got the glittering. But then
there's more.
And also, when spritzing.
Yes.
This strikes horror in my heart, but I'm here to help.
Okay.
So we'll bring in the craft sheet because we want to protect the surface.
Of course.
And
I need a card.
Okay. How about this one?
I also have, okay, perfect.
And this is heavy enough, you just
can
set
lay
it
down.
Right, okay.
Because if you put tape on here, the spray is not going to go through that. So.
Right. You'll have a outline of tape.
Yes, so here comes a smooch spritz.
I'm going to back up. If you've seen previous webisodes, you know that Anne is deadly with this.
I'm much more careful now.
Are you?
Yes.
And all of those who said you thought it was really funny, thank you. I appreciate that support.
Okay, so see this nozzle? You're going to point it down.
And you're keeping your fingers about 6-8 inches away?
Yeah.
Okay. And whenever you do this, you want to kind of wait a minute because it will seep into the paper. And what color are you using?
Holly berries.
Holly berries.
It's cool. I like this color because it has red ink, but it has gold kind of shimmer.
And you're going to use something else too?
Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to get it, fully covered with the red. And put the cap back on there.
Okay.
Now we're going to take that off.
Oh, okay. I didn't expect that. Okay.
Surprise.
So that's why you were doing it so much, to make sure that you got the impression.
All the holes, right.
But now
I'm going to take this gold candle glow.
Okay.
Brace yourself.
And carefully point. Sorry, we have little lives. Okay.
All right.
And this is the thing with any of the mists or spritz, is that you can't control it. So
right.
Those of you like me who like to control things.
And that one, I was kind of running out of the spray, so it might have gotten a little blobby on there. But you can see the two different colors, the red on the outside and then the gold on the inside.
And what you did, I'll bring the card back, is to then you corner chomp the corners and put it on the gold paper, and then it looks like you did some gold embossing.
Yes, that is with the edges and border stamps, which I love.
Pretty.
With the Versamark and the champagne gold embossing powder.
And a little bit more embossed there.
And that's from the Christmas Stamp and Punch stamps.
Okay, and inside you duplicated those efforts.
A little explosion of color.
Yeah, very fun. So that was our fourth technique. Just want to keep you posted. Now we're going into a different template, and this is the smaller ones. And in this one, you've also done it with the pergamano, so with the light source. But going on the inside of our card,
made it kind of a window there.
Yeah, you have used the same stencil, and then the StazOn, right?
The gold StazOn, I just sponged it on with a makeup sponge, and then I cleaned it off the stencil with the StazOn cleaner.
Oh, okay. So when it is closed, you can see that you get this color behind it. It's almost a golden shadow.
Right.
And because you've made it a window card. And before I open, I do want to point out that down here you've used the gold
Merry Christmas. Yeah. I used it in red, and then the inside I used it in gold.
But then you also use some extra pieces, right?
Skinny strips. It's really easy just to cut a tiny strip off the edge of the glitter because it's such a nice little accent.
And it doesn't rub off. And then on the inside, there you've got the gold, and you've got the
gold and the gold.
Gold and the gold, yes. What a striking. So it's kind of a shadowing look.